Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends a cable of condolences to the Emir of Kuwait on the death of Sheikh Saud Abdullah Al Sabah. State and Shura councils are to start the third annual round of the current term tomorrow. And the Sultanate of Oman stresses on its complete observance of the necessary procedures to strengthen the health system and make it more tolerant to climate changes and more environmentally sustainable. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jabbar Al Sabah, Emir of Kuwait, on the death of Sheikh Saud Abdullah Saud Al Malik Al Sabah. Upon royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq to commence the works of the annual round of the Council of Oman, the State Council will start tomorrow its first session of the third annual round of the 7th period by discussing the reality of the scientific research in the Sultanate of Oman, the role of the public and private sectors, and the international companies in supporting and developing it. The Shura Council also will hold on Sunday and Monday the first two sessions of the third annual round of the 7th period. During the sessions, they will discuss the work of the Permanent Committee, approve a number of requests, and review the state's general budget proposal for the next year. Sultanate of Oman stressed its complete observance of the necessary procedures to strengthen the health system and make it more tolerant to climate change and make it more environmentally sustainable. His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Saidi, the Minister of Health, expressed the Sultanate's commitment during the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference, which is currently taking place in Glasgow until the 12th of November. His Excellency, the Minister of Health, said that the country will work on a number of commitments, such as reviewing health institutions in terms of tolerance and adaptability to climate change variables by 2023, developing a national climate change adaptability plan in the health sector by 2024, and adopting a national climate change work plan for the health sector by 2023. Direct foreign investment in the Sultanate of Oman rose by 6.7% to stand at 16,330 million Omani Rials during the first half of the current year. The National Centre for Statistics and Information revealed that the cash flow in direct foreign investment reached 1,003 million Omani Rials. The centre also revealed that the foreign investment in oil and gas sector was 11 billion Omani Rials, and in financial brokerage sector it exceeded 1 billion Omani Rials. The United Kingdom ranked first in the volume of foreign investment, while the United States of America came second. The Food Security Lab has produced 112 investment opportunities with a total value of over 1 billion Omani Rials. This was confirmed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Nasser Al Bakri, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources, in a statement to Oman News Agency. His Excellency said that after implementing these projects and investment opportunities, they will add 1 million tonnes of agricultural crop produce, which is currently over 4 million tonnes. His Excellency affirms supporting the project of buying wheat crops from Omani farmers and expanding the area of the project to 2,500 acres with a production rate of 2.5 tonnes per acre. Oman Development Bank launches a financing product called Rural, which is designed to meet the needs of women, especially rural women working in agriculture, livestock and related activities. The launch is in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources, and it includes implementing a training program that aims to teach women how to run their projects and get the required permits. It is expected that more than 915 rural women and girls will benefit from the product, with a loan portfolio of 12 million Omani Rials. This financing product aims to elevate rural families economically and socially, increase their income, and enhance women's role in productive sectors. Still to come in our news bulletin. A cleaning campaign in different locations of Nazira Island in the Governorate of South Al-Sharqiya is on the way. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Thousands of demonstrators are expected to march through the streets of Glasgow for a second day today to demand leaders move faster to cut fossil fuels that are wrecking the climate. Negotiators at the COP26 UN Climate Summit knuckled down for a seventh straight day of talks to finish draft agreements that can be passed to government ministers for political approval next week. Turnout for the march was expected to be strong, despite stiff gusts and a drizzle that turned to cold rain. The situation in Baghdad remained tense today, a day after scuffles between supporters of some militia and riot police turned deadly. One protester was killed and scores of people, mostly members of Iraqi security forces, were injured yesterday. The protesters reject the results of last month's parliamentary elections that saw the pro-Iran militias lose. The supporters of the militias had been camping outside Baghdad's green zone. Iraq's Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi ordered an investigation into yesterday's violence to determine what sparked the clashes and who violated orders not to open fire. About 30 protesters marched, apparently trying to storm the heavily protected green zone, and used rocks to pelt security forces. Riot police responded with batons, tear gas and water cannons to push them back. The United States, the UN Security Council and others have praised the October 10th election, which was mostly violence-free and without any major technical glitches. However, unsubstantiated claims of voter fraud have cast a shadow over the vote. Police said a knife attack on a high-speed train in Germany has injured several people. Local police said that they received a call about the attack around 9 a.m. locally time today. The train in question, one of Germany's high-speed ice trains, was traveling between the Bavarian cities of Regensburg and Nuremberg at the time of the attack. One man has been arrested in connection with the attack at the train station in Sübersdorf, where the train is currently stopped. A spokesman for the German railway network confirmed that the station in Sübersdorf has been closed since that, and the train traveling between Regensburg and Nuremberg have been suspended. The U.S. House of Representatives late yesterday approved a $1 trillion package of road and other infrastructure projects. The approval came after Democrats resolved a month-long standoff between progressives and moderates. The result is a victory that President Joe Biden and his party have become increasingly anxious to claim. The president's approval rating have dropped, and his party got the cold shoulder from voters in this week's off-year elections. The House passed the measure 228 to 206. About a dozen Republicans supported it, while about half as many Democrats opposed it. The legislation is expected to create legions of jobs and improve broadband, water supplies, and other public works. In continuation of the efforts made by the Environment Authority in cooperation with various public and private entities to restore the plantation at Ras Al Harq area in the Walayat of Al Hamra, the first phase of planting native trees in the area has been implemented. More details in the following report.
To replenish the burned sites at Ras Al Harq area in the Wilaya of Al Hamra, the Environment Authority, in cooperation with the Royal Air Force of Oman, carried out a campaign to replant rare native trees with the participation of a group of volunteers and specialists from Oman Botanic Garden.
Since the beginning of the fire that happened in Ras Harq in June, there was a collaboration between the Environment Authority and the Oman Botanic Garden to study the area. And there was several of visit to the site and the study of the distribution, the cause of the fire, and then how that fire has affected the natural habitat on the site and the plant species. So based on that study has been done, we are now here to plant about 65 of the native plants in the area, and it will be the first planting. And based on this study here now and this planting, there will be another planting, inshallah, for the restoration of the area in the future.
Several sites at Ras Al Harq in Jabal Shams in the Wilaya of Al Hamra witnessed a bushfire last June, which caused great impact on natural elements and destroyed a large number of rare ancient trees. The campaign involved planting 65 various seedlings of rare native trees, including juniper, bullet trees, and wild olive. Such efforts will restore the plantation and the biodiversity of the place. From Jabal Shams, صالح بخلفان الرحبي, الداخلية Governorate.
Mazira Island in South Al-Sharqiya Governorate is considered as one of the best places in the Sultanate that is unique with biodiversity and fisheries wealth. In order to maintain this wealth, many participated in the cleaning campaign in different locations. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai.
Sea biodiversity is bigger than the wilderness. This is what Masira Island underwater treasure shows.
Masira Island have a very large biodiversity, especially the marine biodiversity, I mean. 5 species of sea turtle, especially for turtles nesting in Masira Island. And also we have whales and dolphin closely to the beach of Masira, especially the Arabian humpback whales. And also they have coral reefs and also a lot of fishes.
More than 50 divers gathered to participate in sea environment cleaning campaign in Masira Island. This event was organized by Oman Fishermen Association and Environment Authority.
This campaign is collaboration between the Fishermen Association and the Authority of Environment, and also a lot of agencies inside the island and outside the island collaborate to do this effort. The main effort is the cleanup of the coral reefs area from the nets. The nets, especially the ground nets inside the sea, affecting a lot in the coral reefs and the fishes of the area.
All divers are heading to 7 points that have been specified among various locations that are affected the most by the fishermen nets. These nets affect badly marine life. Some of them have been removed, but more is still there.
We start to clean the net from some location, different location. It's like 7 or 8 location, different place where there is a net fish, and we clean it to keep safe the marine life.
This cleaning campaign went beyond the sea to cover its long beach, where old and young, men and women participated in this campaign to have beautiful and clean environment. Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai, from South Al-Sharqiya Governorate, Wilaya of Masira.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sends a cable of condolences to the Emir of Kuwait on the death of Sheikh Saud Abdullah Al Sabah. State Insurer Councils are to start the 3rd annual round of the current term tomorrow. And the Sultanate of Oman stresses on its complete observance of the necessary procedures to strengthen the health system and make it more tolerant to climate changes and more environmentally sustainable. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, it's good night and stay safe.